Hey, good evening, everybody. I am Chuck Rogers, a licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
And I'm Keith Dunn, and I am always louder than Chuck.
Every single time. But he's a wonderful network engineer. And together we're Tabletop Coffee.
Yep, where we are bold and never ever bitter.
Never, ever bitter. And tonight we're going to do a twist
Yep.
on a video that we did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago on the Velvet Rope.
Yeah,
Stay tuned. It's going to be good.
we'll talk about it.
You know, I was thinking through today as I was cutting up the video for the Velvet Rope. And that's a video that if you haven't seen yet, that will come out before this one, so I'll put a link up here. But it was so good as I listened back to that video, and it's really talking about setting boundaries and having a bouncer, but we were talking about it from a business perspective where either you're the business owner and you're the bouncer there with the velvet rope and you're only letting certain clients in, or you have somebody who works for you who is the bouncer and only lets people
you
in.
can come in, you can come in, you can't come in.
Exactly.
Taking only the work and only the people that you want to work with.
Right. And I was listening to the video today, and it was just overwhelming to me how important that can be from a personal perspective as well.
Okay. I hadn't really thought a lot about that, but
Yeah, so we did a video a couple of years ago, Scuba, and I'll put the link up here.
self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
Right.
But relationally, it is sustaining contact utilizing brief activities.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing that he pulled that. It would have taken me a good 15 seconds to actually come up with that. That's really, really good. So yeah, that video is really good. But what that video is about is limiting your time with people. So you can only stay underwater for a certain amount of time. You do that with people as well. But from the velvet rope perspective, there are people that you don't even allow past that rope.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. And I was thinking about it because, you know, there are always people in your life who cause you harm or cause you to have real anxiety. And there are times, well, what do you think? Are there times where you just set that boundary?
Yeah, it's kind of like we talked about, I think, last week with regard to all possessions are a burden.
Right. Yes.
And I think all people are a burden.
Okay.
I think that I'm a burden to you, and I think that you're a burden to me.
Okay. Chuck has never been a burden to me.
That's not true. I take your time.
There's got to be a better. I love that you take my time.
I take your time. I take your energy. I take your effort. So there's a cost in being in relationship with me. So therefore, I hope that the cost, that the benefit outweighs the cost.
Yes.
But I'm saying there's a burden to every relationship. Now, I think to your point here, there are some people who add this much to you, and
Oh yeah.
then maybe we say it differently. There's some people who take this much from you,
Right.
and they don't add this much to you. So
Right.
it's a lopsided relationship. So maybe that's the person that you don't allow into your life.
I think that's true.
Or maybe this person adds this much and they take this much. So maybe it's kind of
Right.
a draw kind of a thing,
Yeah.
a tie. And then there are some people who certainly just add more to your life than they ever take from it.
And they're so great when you find those.
So I do believe that every person, every relationship, I do believe is what's the word we're using?
Burden.
Burden, yes, I've forgotten the word. But you have to look at it and say, do I continue to allow this person to be in my life? And if so, to what degree?
Yeah, and don't you think, other than just what people add and take from your life, would people who have actually caused harm in your life, would that fit in this as well?
I think so, yeah. So they've either caused harm or they just don't bring a lot to the table. Now, I do believe that sometimes we might choose to let somebody pass that velvet rope to be a part of my life who really doesn't add much. I would say
right.
that's kind of like ministry.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I'm going to allow this person to be in my life for the benefit that I can give to them.
I think that's
as well.
true.
I just think you have to be really careful about who you let in,
Right.
how many people you let in, or for how long you let them in.
Yeah, and this might go with the adage of, it's so much harder to pull someone up as opposed to them pulling you down. So you have to scuba when you get to that point, and you allow that person past that rope, and you limit the amount of time that you give towards that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great. I think that's really important
Yeah,
from
I
a
think so.
personal side of things.
So the velvet rope policy applied not to business, but to relationships.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Hey, if you liked our content, we would really appreciate it if we would subscribe.
Man, you are doing good on this one.
Stumbling all
Yes,
over
you
myself.
are, but it's so good. It's going to be so many great clips in this one.
We would appreciate it if you would subscribe, and Keith would really appreciate it
I
if you
would
would subscribe.
really, really, really appreciate it. And ding that bell so you're notified of upcoming episodes.
Make sure to like it.
Yep, share it with your friends.
Thanks, everybody.
Until next time. And I saw, I saw on the little ring that moves when we're talking, I saw it move a little bit more when you were talking last time.
I was really trying.
I know you were. It was like you were yelling over there. So if Chuck was yelling and he was just out of control on that last video, let us know. We would definitely like to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm really trying to project.
I bet every comment on that video is going to be, "Oh my goodness, Chuck's hurting my ears. He's so loud."
That would be something to...
That would be awesome.